welcome to Burning Waters of the Moon Tarot. My name is Desiree, and this video is a reading for the energy of Ophiuchus. So before I start my Ophiuchus readings, I give a little debriefing about Ophiuchus. Not many people know of Ophiuchus, and it is a constellation. Some astrologers do not believe it is a zodiac sign. They don't believe it's part of the zodiac. Many astrologers feel like 12 is a nice, round, even number, and Ophiuchus just kind of throws everything out of whack, out of balance. And so Ophiuchus is correlated to Scorpio in a way, being that it's Scorpio is all about transformation and transmuting traumas into some wonderful, positive, workable energies. And Ophiuchus is the wounded healer. So Ophiuchus is ruled by Chiron, which is forgot what Chiron is known for, but it's about healing traumas and wounds and stuff like that. And so Ophiuchus is actually, I believe the myth of the story of Ophiuchus is that he was a mortal who was wounded somehow, and he gave his life for his teacher. I believe his teacher was Apollo, and Apollo taught him how to heal and all of this, and I think something happened to Apollo, and Ophiuchus gave his life for Apollo. And then Ophiuchus was raised to basically God status, given a position in the sky, and that's why we have the constellation Ophiuchus. So Ophiuchus is above the ecliptic in relation to Scorpio, and I believe it's Ophiuchus' thigh that crosses the ecliptic, and so the sun does travel through that constellation. And, it's up to you whether you want to use this energy or not. Of course, tropical astrology does not recognize Ophiuchus, the 13th sign. True Sky Siderealists do. And I do have links down at the bottom of the description box where you can run a True Sky Siderealist birth chart so that you can see where Ophiuchus lies for you. So Ophiuchus is really small, and the True Sky Siderealists use the zodiac wheel based on the ratio of the size of the constellation. So for instance, Virgo is really big, so it takes up a lot of the zodiac wheel. And so you'll find you might have more planets in Virgo than any other than other signs, right? And Ophiuchus is really small. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the dates for Ophiuchus are December 7th through December 18th. And so it's read after it appears after the sign of Scorpio, and the galactic center, I believe, is in Ophiuchus as well. So those of you that believe that we come in and exit through the galactic center, that would be your area. Okay, so I think that's about it for the brief introduction of Ophiuchus. I have Neptune and Mars in Ophiuchus. I kind of got myself lost here because I'm not following my regular scheduled program. Here we have the RWS deck. It's published by DeBride. It has this beautiful chocolate back with this nice gold gilding. Then here I have the Ehrenberg Tarot by Steve Ehrenberg, and this is the Primordial Tarot by Sergio Topi, and I'm using this as an oracle deck. Okay, all right, we'll draw a card at the end to tie the reading together. And so, as I said at the beginning of the video, this is for the energy of Ophiuchus, and what I mean by that is that you may or may not have a planet in the sign of Ophiuchus, but you absolutely have a house in the sign of Ophiuchus. And that's where that birth chart will help you. Down at the bottom of the description box, Mastering the Zodiac has a nice birth chart. Just enter your birth information and you can see where Ophiuchus lies for you. And so we all have all 13 of these signs, 13 or 12, whatever floats your boat, of these energies in our zodiac wheel, okay? So that means that we can access these energies as we deem necessary, and we can use them as we see fit to the certain situation. And for some, it might be a little bit easier to call on these energies, but with practice and patience, we can get used to calling on these energies on a regular basis. And you know, how wonderful would that be to be able to use all 13 of these energies whenever we need them, because they all have their positives and, you know, if you want to view them as negatives, but we can use all of these energies at any particular time. All right, Ophiuchus, let's see what's going on with you. Two of Pentacles, Earth. Three of Cups in reverse, Water. And Eight of Pentacles in reverse, more Earth. Okay, so it's looking like you've got some sort of choice going on here. You might be juggling a couple of things going on in your physical world. You're not quite sure what to do with these two things, these two opportunities. There are some emotions that are involved. And, you know, with this eight, I keep wanting to say Five of Pentacles, but with this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, I'm not quite sure if you're just not willing to put in the work that is needed or what. So we're going to use the Ehrenberg Tarot to dive into this message a little bit deeper to further explain what is going on here. So usually with the Three of Cups in reverse, there's some sort of turmoil going on within some kind of group. Okay, now we've got the Two of Cups in reverse. The Three of Cups upright. Very interesting. The Hermit. We have the Seven of Swords. We've got the Page of Wands in reverse. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the Page of Cups in reverse. We have the Empress, and we have the Nine of Wands. Wow, you might want to watch the previous two videos I did, because a lot of these cards showed up. Seven, Ace, Nine, and the Three of Cups and Two of Cups were in Virgo's reading, and then we had the Empress and Pisces, and I think that Pisces also had a Three of Cups. I can't quite remember, but I do know the Empress was in Pisces reading. Okay, so let me switch your view here. You know, and I shuffle these cards a lot, and I shuffle them on camera so that you can see that, you know, there's no staging going on here. And I couldn't even stage if I wanted to. I mean, there's just, how could I be so creative in these readings? I mean, that would just be tough, you know? Okay, to always be coming up with something new, I think. Okay, let's see. We've got a lot of water going here with this opportunity, this situation here where you're kind of needing to decide, needing to juggle. You've got a lot of water going on in general. We've got the Three of Cups here. Now we do have the Hermit, which is our major arcana. We've got the Empress and the Hermit here as our major arcana. And the Hermit speaks about a little bit of seclusion, kind of going in and understanding who you are, how you relate to the world, and not being influenced by others, but really that Edward Waite says that that the Hermit is basically an individual that we can all strive to be, being that whatever he has, we can have it too. And so that's where it really kind of pops up here. So with your decision, I feel like there is a bit of deceit that is going on, but it is, just a minute here. We've got a lot of wand action. So very interesting. So we've got water action over here, and we've got wand fire action over here, and they're both below these pentacles. Okay. And then we've got the Page of Cups, Page of Wands, both in reverse. So what is that telling us? That is telling us there's something here about water and fire with our pages in reverse. And so you have this decision, and there's lots of emotion involved. And I feel like this emotion is a bit tumultuous to you, and it's giving you a false impression. And what the cards are asking here is for you to really understand the situation as it relates to you and to this opportunity that you have working. And it's telling that we have the Three of Cups upright and the Three of Cups reversed, because this Three of Cups, this is our major energy. And so I feel that this Three of Cups situation here, others involved, is really kind of throwing you off your game. But the Hermit wants you to really understand who you are, what you're doing, what your purpose is, and not to be deceived as to what is being presented by this Three of Cups energy. We have the Empress in reverse, and basically this is really telling us not to give too much stock into what this group, what this, I just feel like there's more than two people involved in this situation, and it's really, and I think that's really what's kind of putting you off, not putting you off, but putting you in a situation where you don't know what to do, where you feel that your mind is clouded, you don't quite understand what is going on, and you're here at a point where you're kind of suspended in action. You're suspended because you're not quite sure how to tackle this. But I think that might be necessary, because if you were to act on something that's being presented by this Three of Cups energy in reverse here, because it is sort of a deceit, a false, an untruth, it's going to steer you in the wrong way. So before you make your actual decision, you need to get this Hermit energy flowing well for you. You need to really understand the situation, how you affect this situation, what you can do to change it. And it's going to take you sort of pulling back from the situation to really see what's really going on. You might even need to take a bit of a break, is what I'm seeing here. You know, Page of Wands being in reverse. This is a card of investigation, of really knowing how to get into something and just really working it, really trying to get your elbows, your elbow grease in there. We also have the Eight of Pentacles here as well, which is a card that signifies work. Now, interestingly enough, we do have this Ace of Wands paired with this Nine of Wands here. And what this is telling me is you really need to stick to your guns, right? once you get a full understanding of what's happening to you and why, and when you understand the deceit that is happening, and with the mask that's being presented is going to pull itself away, and you're no longer going to be confused. But the reason why you're confused is because you're allowing this situation to affect you emotionally. And when we start making decisions based on emotions, we get in all kinds of trouble. You know, we need to be able to separate the logic and the emotion from one another. And these two need to be able to have a good dialogue between one another, and then come to an agreeable solution in the middle, and not just being driven by the emotion or not just being driven by logic. We need to meet in the middle with the mind and the heart. And so what I'm seeing here is that there should be a lack of action, which it's going to take some time for you to get your head straight. But what you really need to do is kind of stay on the defense, right? Don't let, get in that turtle shell, I guess you could say, and don't let these energies start affecting you. Don't let them penetrate that while you're in your hermit's cave here. And you really need to enact this shield, as it would be, to protect yourself while you are contemplating this situation. And I think once you're able to pull yourself away from it, I used the term bird's eye view earlier. When you're able to look at the situation from a bird's eye view, the mask is going to start falling away, and you're going to see the things the way that they really are. And that's going to make it a lot easier for you to choose, to decide which way to go. So you got a little bit of work ahead of you, but it's nothing that you can't handle, Ophiuchus. I think it's just going to take a little bit of work and perseverance on your part, just to pull yourself away from this situation in an emotional way. Because if we're attached emotionally, it's really hard to pull away and look at things objectively. And that's what the time in the cave is going to afford you. It's going to allow you that separation, and it's going to allow you to clear your head a little bit, so you're not bombarded by these emotions, by these feelings that are sort of at the helm at the moment. So stay vigilant, stay focused, and go deep into that cave, go deep into the quiet, and allow yourself, meditate on being able to see through the masks, the facades that are being presented, and that's going to help you. All right, one more shuffle for you from the Primordial Tarot, and that's our card. And that is card number 5, Major Arcana. I believe this is the first and only Major Arcana we've had from this series. I don't think we've had any Major Arcana. How fitting is that? The last reading, and it is for the Ophiuchus. Okay, so this is the Shaman. With use of his hagstone, the shaman sees into the future. I think we may have had this, because I remember this hagstone. Okay. With the use of his hagstone, the shaman sees into the future, into the past, and into other worlds. He performs the ceremonies and rituals that keep his people grounded in the cycles of life and that create change when needed. He honors the ancestors and the spirits, keeping them fat and happy so they will rain blessings, provide help, and offer guidance. He searches for lost souls to return to people. He patrols the boundaries, keeping dangerous spirits away. He is a spiritual warrior, a father and a mother to his people, performing the rites that will support them from birth, through life, and into the arms of death. Divinatory meaning: spiritual responsibility, wisdom, ceremony, ritual, and spiritual protection. And I think that's where this card is coming in from, is the spiritual protection Using the wisdom of the Hermit, you really need to call in on your inner shaman. And perhaps this is even calling on you to do a little bit of shadow work. And I don't quite exactly see the basis of shadow work here. I mean, like what that would be, but maybe it would be why you let yourself get tangled up in these falsities, false emotions in the first place. That could be something. But really the idea here is to, number one, protect yourself, stay vigilant, but also call on the spirit of your ancestors to help you, and not only that, ask them for guidance and ask them to offer some protection for you. I mean, I think this might be a tough thing for you to walk alone, but just remember, you have a whole, you have generations and generations of ancestors behind you, and it's as simple as making an offering to ask them for some help and for some guidance. Okay, Ophiuchus, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being here. If you know of anyone who can benefit from this reading, please share, and I will see you next reading. Take care.